If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. GMS fam, the green room. We are back with another one, man. It is Friday. Happy Friday to every single person out there. I hope y'all are doing well. I know this was spontaneous. This came out of nowhere. So as everybody feels up in here, pause. I want y'all to tap into that live chat. Let me know you are here. Shout out to the GMS fam. If you are pulling up expeditiously, we got some things to discuss. Make sure you put that GMS in the chat. Also, let me know where you tuning in from, man. Shout out your city, man. I want to know where y'all all are at as you are tuning in. Listen, you know we started every show with peace, love, positive energy, good vibes, passing it forward, hoping that you pass it along as well. My GMS fam, please understand that today is one of those days where we need to spread more love and peace because there's way too much going on in the world. We're going to get to that a little later. First and foremost, we want to talk about what is brewing because Jada Pinkett Smith is on a book tour right now. She is on a book tour media press run. And when you need to sell books, you do what you can and you say what you need to sell them books. Now I am now for certain that her book is going to be a New York Times bestseller. It's going to fly off the shelves because everybody and their mama and every media outlet in the world is going to be buying that book to get juicy details on her and Will Smith and their family's life and, you know, Tupac as well. Now, last episode, we had to talk about the fact that this woman revealed that her and Will have been separated since 2016, which sent social media in a frenzy and more things she talked about. Chris Rock asked her out on a date and all this other stuff, and it was like, oh shit, what happened? Now, forgetting that she had to go on a book tour, I forgot that she was going to be talking to multiple media outlets. So I'm thinking People Magazine is like the only place she was going to pop up and start talking her shit at. Well, no, I was sadly mistaken because she pulled up to All the Smoke. She sat down with Matt Barnes to talk about some of the things in her book. And one thing that she revealed that once again sent social media on a frenzy was that Tupac allegedly proposed to her while behind bars. Now, of course, she rejected that because if she accepted it, well, she would have been one of Pac's widows. But she decided to speak on it here, and I'm gonna play it for y'all as we go in here. Let me put this picture up instead. I want y'all to get the real visual of what's going through her mind when she speaks about Pac. Listen to this.
So
What up, T?
A lot of people might not know, but he proposed to you while he was in jail.
I talk about this in the book when I go to see him in Rikers, when I wrote about that in the book, and when I had to talk about it, speak my words for the audible version of the book. That was probably one of the more painful parts, seeing him there, the condition that he was in, and having to leave him there. And he was in bad shape. And so when he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers. And I knew at that time that he needed somebody to do time with him, which I was gonna do anyway. You didn't have to marry me to do time, right? I'm here.
Now you see why we love you.
And then but he needed a rock. He needed, because of our friendship and because of everything we had been through together, he just wanted to feel that solidified foundation, you know? Because I promise you, he would have married me and divorced me as soon as his ass left jail. He would have.
Right.
I'll be real with it.
She's trying to say that to, you know, kind of cater to Will's feelings in that moment. I feel like that's just my assumption. Maybe not, you know. Maybe she doesn't give a damn about Will's feelings because she keep going around speaking about Pac and writing about him and the shit. Maybe she's doing that for the public eye. I mean, because clearly it's been fuck Will. It's been like fuck his feelings and however he feel about this situation. I'm going to say what I want. But I think public scrutiny might be the reason actually why she decided to try to clean that up, talking about he would have divorced her right away. Pac, I don't think Pac would have been that type of guy. You want to know why I don't think Pac would have been that type of guy? Because Pac said this about Jada while he was alive.
Jada Pinkett. Jada's my heart. You know what I mean? She will be my friend for my whole life. Well, maybe I'll be down to scoop you up later in life. You ain't all shriveled up. We'll be all together. Be like Ozzie Davis and Ruby Dee.
Pick, you know you always got a place in my heart.
She can have my one heart, my liver, my lungs, my kidneys, my blood, marrow, all of it.
Somebody who will express his feelings and his love and his admiration for you that way publicly don't seem like a guy that was just trying to marry you and then divorce you once he got out of prison. I don't know. That's just me.
Right. Because so many people in that position don't have support.
Right.
None at all.
None. You know?
And he got the best.
Right. He was just like, look. And I just think it was the mind state that he was in. You know? He wrote me this long letter. And I think even before Pac went to jail, he was starting to shift in a certain manner.
Good or bad?
Good. Really good. And I think that for him, he just felt like, okay, if I can tether myself, it'll keep me on a trajectory.
Now, of course, that sent social media in an uproar because it's like, are you not reading the signs? Are you not seeing what's being said? Do you not hear the people? Now, normally I wouldn't encourage somebody to listen to outside noise when they're talking about their personal business and what's going on, but it's just crazy that this narrative is here and she's playing towards it. Now, it's crazy at first, and then you got to remember, oh, she has a book out. She needs to sell a book, so I get it. She needs to do her thing. Maybe her and Will had a conversation behind the scenes. She was like, all right, I wrote this big book. You know what's in it. I need to push this and make this a bestseller. I need to say what I need to say. So skip the bullshit and the problems at home. Just know ahead of time I'm gonna say this. And I don't want you to feel some type of way about it. I'm trying to sell my book. That could be a very big possible. But that'll be wild. Now, to go to her point where she said that, oh, you know, Pac was, you know, I would be there for him regardless, or you know, him trying to propose to her, she took that as, well, he just needed somebody to be there. Wasn't like Pac was alone. I seem to recall a Miss Jasmine guy pulling up to Pac to visit him while he was locked up a few times. He looked very content there. He didn't look like he was just needing somebody at that time. I'm pretty sure he had not only you, but her and somebody else after that, and somebody else after that that pulled up. He was Tupac. You feel me? It's funny how she kind of makes herself seem like the very special one, but I do give her that because the way that Tupac revered her. But Tupac, he loved women. I don't think people understand, or maybe the people that paid attention, or the older generation. You know, we have a new generation coming in that feel like they don't know what's going on, but the older generation understands Tupac really did love women, and he revered women in a real way. That's why the case that was against him till this day, a lot of people don't believe that he did that because of how he would present himself, or how he would speak on women, or how he would deal with certain women. You know, that's, I mean, to this day, and I will say this, to his defense, that was the only time you've heard of that ever happening in his life. I don't remember any, and maybe I'm too young at age 31 to remember if there was anybody else that came forward and said Pac did something to them in that manner, another woman, but as far as I know, that was the only one. Now, that can just be left up to debate. You know, we weren't there. We don't know what happened. There's been several stories out there, but I digress. This situation here is very interesting. Now, she also revealed a little bit more. She said that she didn't talk to Tupac the last year of his life over a heated argument where she felt like Tupac went too far. And I'm very curious to know what he did that was too far in her opinion. Now, real quick, before I play this, I just want to say, Zen Master said Tupac was married to a woman named Keisha Moore, and she's a stud with a wife and 2 kids. Now, holy. Nike, what does that say? Nike Darnie, is that how you say it? Let me know how to say that name. He said, thanks for the join at the Wu-Tang. Oh, yo, hey, yo. Hey, yo. Okay, yo, shout out to my man Nike Darn. I think that's how you say it, right? Am I saying it right? Nike Darnie. I gave that man a joint outside of the Wu-Tang concert here in Minneapolis. My man traveled all the way from Sacramento, did you say? It was San Diego or Sacramento, one of those places. He traveled from somewhere over on the West Coast just to come to the Wu-Tang concert out here in Minnesota, and I seen him outside, and we were on a mission. I'm sorry, this is a side note. I'm happy he popped up. He actually did what he said he was gonna do, so I gotta shout him out. We were trying to get a lighter. We forgot the lighter in the car going upstairs. We had like 7, 8 joints on us, and I was trying to give somebody $5 for a lighter. I mean, that's a steal. $5 for a lighter. Here, give me. I don't care what it is. Give me a crack lighter, nigga, as long as I can use a lighter inside this venue. And they didn't have one, but I gave him a joint. And at first it was like, yeah, let me see, you know, you can pay me for the joint. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Don't worry about it. Take the joint on me as long as you go ahead and support the GMS show. That's all you got to do. I don't care about you paying me for the joint. This is real Minnesota nice right here. Take this J, smoke this while you in there. Enjoy Wu-Tang, enjoy Nas, enjoy De La Soul, nigga. Happy you here in Minnesota. Enjoy yourself. So shout out to Nike Darnie. I appreciate you. Now, back to this. Tupac went too far apparently with their last time speaking, and it's always sad. No matter who you are and you're close with somebody and you guys have a falling out, and you know that person ends up passing away, there's always that feeling of, you know, the fact that you could have said sorry, or you could have made amends, or whatever it is that y'all argued over or had a beef over wasn't even serious enough for y'all to fall out like that. So this is what she had to say in regards to that.
You and Pac weren't on speaking terms the last year of his life. Can you tell us why and what that taught you?
Yeah. So when I was talking about how we could pull each other's coattails, I just felt like he was off track a little bit, you know, and I spoke on that, and we got into a heated, probably one of the most heated arguments we've ever had. And that was not, Pac and I getting into heated confrontations was not unusual, right? This happened to be a very heated one. And I didn't speak to him for a year.
Holy.
I was hurt, I was pissed. And I really kind of dug my heels in the ground. I was just like, he went too far and he's gonna have to calm me. Bump that. He's gonna have to calm me, and I'm standing my ground on it, you know? And
the stubbornness of some of you women. All right, let me shoot her some bail. If she felt like she was disrespected, then I get it. You gotta make amends with that. It is up to the person who did the disrespecting to go and make that amends with the person that they so-called love and care about. But also, it is up to interpretation what the disrespect was. Maybe he didn't feel like he disrespected you. Maybe he felt like he was saying some real shit to you that you couldn't take, so you made it a disrespectful thing because you didn't want to come to terms with whatever it was that he was saying. It could have been that too.
And I learned that don't waste time like that. You know, it's like a whole year out of my, pride. You know what I'm saying? It's just pride, both of us, very prideful. Very prideful, just hard-headed, prideful, and because none of it mattered. The day that when Afeni called me, when I found out he'd been shot again, I didn't give, and that whole conversation and whatever was going on with Suge and all that, it didn't matter. So why should it have mattered for a whole year? It didn't matter.
Stubborn. That's a lesson, though. That's a life lesson right there. That's a real life lesson, is that when stuff like that is going on, man, you gotta suck it up, pause, and just be ready to handle whatever difficult situation you feel like it is, to really get that conversation off, man. It's way better for you to talk to the person that you having problems with, that you actually give a damn about, and come to an understanding and try to talk it out, opposed to sitting back and letting it fester. I think people think it's easier just to sit back and just not talk to a person. The whole time you're thinking about that situation, though. And it's eating at you that certain things is happening, life events is happening, and you're either not there sharing it with this person or congratulating them for the things that they're accomplishing because of the petty fallout that y'all had. So that's just a life lesson right there. But, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because one thing has always stuck out to me. A few things have stuck out to me, but one of those things, there was the one time when Will pointed out the fact that, divorce wasn't an option for him. So this explains why these two are separated and not divorced. It's because Will, after his first marriage failed, he didn't want to get another divorce because failure, he said divorce isn't an option, but what I heard was failure is not an option, because he said that first marriage he failed. He did not want to fail again. So you can see why and this is what now is starting to look to me as one of those things where Jada probably wanted to get that divorce. She probably wanted to get away from him, but he wouldn't allow it. So now she's on that, I need to express how I feel, and I need to do all this extra shit and write this book and make it very clear to the man that won't settle for a divorce that I don't want to be with him. And that's the Jada that we've been getting for the past 7 years. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up about Pac and her and talking about this situation is because Will went on the Breakfast Club too. Another thing that stuck out to me as important to think about when you're in, because this is at the time when people still had the notion that they were in a relationship. They still had the we are married outlook on reality. Everybody thought that Will and Jada were still married at this point. So Will was doing his promotion. Will and Martin Lawrence were doing their promotion for the new Bad Boys movie, and they went to the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne asked Will about how he felt about Jada and Tupac's relationship, and Will said this.
Were you ever jealous of the love Jada had for Tupac?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I know you
Oh
say
my
no.
God, that dude. Let me, and you know, and that was in the early days.
Yeah.
That was in the early days, and it was like, that was a big regret for me too, because I could never open up to interact with Pac, you know, and because we had a little bit of a thing, right? Because you know, they grew up together, and you know they loved each other, but they never had that, you know, they never had a sexual relationship, but they had come into that age where now that was a possibility, and then Jada was with me, you know, so you know Pac had a little thing on that, but she just loved him like he was the image of perfection, but she was with the Fresh Prince, you know, so it was like I never could, like, even we were in a room together a couple times, I couldn't speak to him.
That is very telling for a man. A lot of men don't like to admit that there was another man that got under their skin when they're currently with somebody. No man wants to admit that another man was competition, and it was effortless competition. Effortless in the way where he's telling you she thought that Pac was the image of perfection. So the woman you're with and currently in a relationship with, her best friend, who is a man, is what you know to be her image of perfection. That is a hard pill to swallow. And also, it's crazy that this has been out there in the atmosphere for so long, but Jada has continued to speak on Pac the way that she has been. And then to go on to reveal these things in the book, and at any time in the world to confess to the world that y'all just been separated and y'all actually ain't in no romantic relationship, married, whatever, is the time when you want to reveal the most about the real love of your life. Shit is wild. What up, Lady Aries? Shit is wild to me, man. So I'm definitely gonna buy the book, and I'm gonna find out what I need to find out through this shit. I think I might get the audio. I want to hear her voice. I need to hear the tone of voice and how she says things when she speaks on her relationship with Will and also her relationship with Pac. I don't care about the other stuff. You don't really need to talk about the time you were filming The Matrix, or you know, Down Dirty Shame, whatever the fuck. I forgot the goddamn movie name. You don't need to talk. I don't want to know how you raised Jaden. I don't want to know how you raised Willow. I don't want to know how you stepped in to be the parent number 2 for the oldest child. No, I just want to know the good stuff, the shit that you put in the middle of the book. I need to know that, and then we'll get to talking about that shit later. Now, as we move forward, I need to say this before we get off this topic. One thing that has been resurfacing is the interview that August Alsina had with Angela Yee, where he actually expressed. Now, I remember a lot of people said he was capping. A lot of people was like, oh, this man going through a mental breakdown, or he just losing it. That's why he talking about having sex with Jada. And they didn't actually believe that this man sat down with Will to have a conversation about having sexual relations with his wife. I, being one of those people that was like, no, that could have happened. It could have happened, because I don't see these people actually being in a relationship. I see them as going and doing their own thing, and them being in a partnership. And this is the things that have to happen now, because they both still live in the same roof, that when there's somebody you start to get involved with or want to have a relationship, they have to sit down and speak to your technical husband. It's not about the people you just going out and sleeping with. The reason why, and like I said before, because they tried to call it an entanglement, no, it was a relationship. August Alsina was your boyfriend. And the conflict came from the fact that he was close with the kids, and he really just was too young to really satisfy those needs at that point. Listen to what August had to say when he sat down to talk to Will.
I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation due to the transformation from their marriage to life partnership that they've spoken on several times, and it, you know, not involving romanticism. Mm-hmm. I actually sat down with Will.
I just want to say that is weird. I mean, to me, it's weird. it could be cool with anybody else. I guess everybody's situation is different, but it's just weird to me, man. Like, especially when you have the means to get away from somebody and do your own thing. Like, if y'all are having to deal with all this, there's no point of being separated. You might as well divorce and just live in separate homes. You want to know why I feel like that didn't happen? Is because when all this shit was going on, them being separated, whatever, Will built this woman her dream house. All these different things that Will is saying he was doing for her, it seems crazy how they ended up here in this space. All that's left to do now is for Will to speak his piece. We want to know from his words, from his mouth, what it is that actually went down. Or not even that. How do you feel? What's going on, Will? Like, how do you feel about all this information coming out? Do you feel like y'all were separated since 2016? Do you feel okay that she's talking about Tupac in this way and knowing that you actually weren't her first option? Is that, as a man, how do you feel? It's very interesting, man. I really would want to know how Will felt in these moments, but only time will tell. Will doesn't seem like the guy that would really, really speak on that situation like that, but I must say there does need to be some type of clarification, because Will went up on stage to smack another man in the name of his wife. At least that's what we thought was going on. Turns out Jada didn't know why he did it either. Listen to her explanation about the night that Will slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars.
I did that eye roll not so much for me, and I think this is really important, but the fact that there could be a jab at alopecia.
Will then went on a profane tirade warning Chris not to mention his wife's name. Jada couldn't believe what she was hearing.
What is going on? Now, first of all, I'm really shocked because, mind you, I'm not there. We haven't called each other husband and wife in a long time. But I'm like, what is going on right now?
Keep my wife's name
out of your mouth, right? And I'm like, but now I'm really worried for Will because I don't know what's going on.
Oh, my Lord. So you mean to tell me, after being together since 1997, just because y'all got separated in 2016, that you were just beside yourself when Will spazzed out on? Interesting. Well, there was a story that came out. Well, I mean, it came out a while ago. I mean, Tommy Davidson talked about this shit in his book a long time ago, but he got interviewed and he talked about the time that Will came into his dressing room or his trailer and was ready to box his mouth, as DJ Envy would say, over his wife, Jada. Seems like Will has a tendency to get offended by people playing around with his wife. And that is nowhere near the reaction that you claim you had of, oh, I didn't know what was going on. Crazy. Hold on, let's just hear a little bit more how she described this shit.
What viewers did not see at the time, while Oscar clips were being shown, was Chris Rock leaning over the stage to talk to Jada.
And Chris looks to me and he says, Jada, I meant no harm. Now, I'm just out of it because I'm really worried about
And
Will.
what's Will doing? He's just sitting there?
And Will's still talking. He's like, he's still, because now he's mad because Chris is talking to me. And I go, Chris, this is about some old shit. That's all I could think to say, right? And I couldn't really take in his apology.
I told you. See, look, a lot of these niggas, I would say this. I posted the clip of me, I posted it on Instagram. It's a clip of me talking about the situation of Chris Rock DMing Jada because he thought that her and Will were going to get a divorce. I said it's wrong for a man who is cool with another man to try to dirty Mac his wife off of a rumor. The least Chris could have done was at least hit Will and been on some sneaky shit like, hey, Will, how you doing, man? I'm hearing all this stuff about you and your wife, man. What happened, man? You good? Just to get confirmation that way. You went straight to Jada, it was like, hey, let me take you out. I heard y'all was getting a divorce. I might as well shoot my shot. And people was like, no, this is cap, man. She lying because blah, blah, blah. I don't believe this shit. Blah. Listen, man. People in Hollywood smash each other. And they wait for the day that that one couple breaks up. So that niggas can shoot they shot and the women can shoot they shot so they can get a turn. Now, Jada could have possibly lied about a lot of shit. That right there, I knew it. I knew it when I talked about it. I said what Chris Rock has said compared to what anybody else has said regarding Jada was nothing. He made a G.I. Jane joke. I'm telling you right now, everybody here that is listening to my voice right now has had a moment where they don't like somebody for something that they did and is waiting for any little fucking thing, any moment just to have an excuse to go off on their ass. And that was the excuse that Will needed after all those years of trying to figure out, was this nigga really trying to smash my wife off a rumor? I knew that had nothing to do. That had nothing to do with a G.I. Jane joke, bro. And that is confirmation to me about what we didn't see on camera. Is Chris continuing to try to come over and apologize, and Will like, shut your bitch ass up. And Jada was like, hey, Chris, this is about some old shit, man. This ain't about the joke, man. Chill. You need to stop. You got to stop talking to me for this nigga get up and smack your ass again. This is not about the joke. It's about some old shit. It's insane, man. Pray for Will, bro. Pray for Will. Now, we got to move forward because something else is going on out here in these streets. LeBron James has caught a lot of backlash for his statement about everything going on in Israel and the conflict between Israel and Palestine. He posted this from his Spring Hill company. He said, the devastation in Israel is tragic and unacceptable. The murder and violence against innocent people by Hamas is terrorism. The Spring Hill company family sends our deepest condolences to Israel and the Jewish community. Excuse me. We pray for peace in the region and reiterate our continued commitment to fight hate in all its forms. We all must work to ensure this tragedy does not spread even more hate, racism, and anti-Semitism. Now, of course, naturally, he got hate for that because a lot of people, especially a lot of known figures, are posting about what's going on without actually knowing what's going on. That's why if you don't know what the fuck's going on, the best thing you do is shut the fuck up. And a lot of people have been showing their true colors. I think Justin Bieber posted, pray for Israel, and had a picture posted up of Palestine. He didn't know he was just going along with shit. A lot of people are going along with what they think they should be doing because a lot of celebrities, a lot of people out here in corporate contracts don't want to lose shit. We were just talking about the other day, Mia Khalifa, she got dropped by Playboy because of her going so hard over the problems that's going on out there. She's riding for Palestine, and she's going on and celebrating and congratulating the things that are happening out there because she's looking at it as a revolt. She's looking at it as them fighting back. Then you have the Jewish community who is talking about how this isn't part of the what's going on in the conflict. This is a separate terrorist group. There's a whole bunch of shit going on. And me, as you can see, I have not tried to talk about this or try to put anything on it because I don't know what's going on. So I'm not about to sit up here and be like this and that. Only thing I can do is hope for peace. If you out here having an opinion about what's going on over there in Israel and you don't know what's happening, you ain't over there and you ain't experiencing that shit, the only thing that should be coming out your mouth or the only thing you should be typing is praying for peace for both sides and leave it the fuck alone. That is, first of all, that's not our fight. It can sound as insensitive as you want. That's not our fight. Anything that happens over here with black people or anything that's happening with us in our culture, in our community, there's a select few that fight with us or who actually give a damn about what's going on. The rest don't. but then they looking for us to try to help them because they realize that our voices are very big. Our voices are very powerful. When we come together and we speak, the world listens. They may not change shit, but they fucking hear. So what do people do when they have their own conflicts and their own cultures and shit like that? What do? They start coming and start looking to us and asking to us to raise our voices and speak on it. Hey, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna pull back and I'm gonna let what's happening happen, and hopefully peace can come at some point. But I mean, the way it's looking now, I don't think that's gonna be an option. So I'm just gonna say, wipe my hands of it. I can't do nothing about it. There's a lot of people out there that are mad about what's going on or mad about people not speaking up. One of those people is DJ Vlad. DJ Vlad called out Drake and he called out DJ Khaled because he expressed that they haven't said anything. He's mad that they've been silent. He's mad that Drake has been for all the dogs and not for all of Israel. And he's mad that DJ Khaled is trying to sell his new Jordans instead of, you know, being down with the Palestinians at this moment. I don't know what his deal is, but it seems like he's way more passionate about this than he is about the issues of what's going on in the black community. You know, the community he benefits off of, that he makes a lot of money off of, millions of dollars, the ones that sit back and help project and glorify and continue to raise narratives and stereotypes about black people in the community. He doesn't seem like that guy. He could talk about, oh, I donated this to Black Lives Matter. I donated this to the NAACP, and I've raised awareness about George Floyd. Nigga, shut the fuck up. People have to do the base level shit when they are guests in the community so they don't look a certain way. He has never spoken this passionately and given and just a little bit of bail, because I don't fuck with Vlad. Vlad got me blocked on Twitter too because he know I'll be going at his ass. I don't fuck with him. But just a little bit of bail. He should be this passionate talking about his own people. But the community, the culture that you have infiltrated and that you are a guest of, that you are making a living off of, you don't feel that passionately about. Listen to this, man.
Ultimately has an influence on the world, and you're not choosing to say anything. And Drake, who has a Jewish mother, you know, which by Jewish law makes him Jewish, but not only that, his parents got divorced when he was 5 years old, and he grew up with his Jewish mother and her Jewish relatives in Forest Hills, which is a Jewish community in Toronto. He had a bar mitzvah. And then when this happens, he doesn't say anything because I think that he doesn't want to potentially affect his record sales.
But why does he have to say anything? Why does him or Khaled have to say anything publicly?
They don't have to say anything. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying as representatives of these communities, their voices are powerful and they should say something. Just like I have said something.
What are they supposed to say though? But you're educated on the topic, clearly.
And they don't have people around them that can educate them? They have access to the highest level of everybody. You know what I mean? In terms of professors, experts, and so forth.
But even being educated on something don't mean you have an understanding of it to be able to express it. And you don't want somebody to craft something for you and just post it on your social media. And I've been watching celebrities all week, you know, say some of the stupidest shit. Like, I saw Justin Bieber post, pray for Israel, but he put up a picture of Palestine and had to pray for Israel over the picture of Palestine. So it's kind of like one of those things, if you really don't know what you're talking about, you probably should just sit it out.
But you probably should learn about it because, I mean, this is, before Drake was a rapper, he was Jewish. Before Khaled was a super producer, he was Palestinian.
Now, I only got one response and one response only for DJ Vlad. I'm going to let Dave Chappelle take the stage on this one.
Stop worshiping celebrities so much. Just don't listen, pay attention. I remember right around September 11th, Ja Rule was on MTV. That's what they said. We got Ja Rule on the phone. Let's see what Ja's thoughts are on this tragedy. Who gives a fuck what Ja Rule thinks at a time like this, nigga? This is ridiculous. I don't want to dance. I'm scared to death. I want some answers that Ja Rule might not have right now. You think when bad shit happens to me, I'll be in the crib like, oh my God, this is terrible. Could somebody please find Ja Rule, get hold of this motherfucker so I can make sense of all this. Where is Ja? Meet Ja Rule.
Y'all want to know something hilarious about this? I'm going to let y'all in on something. The funniest part about that joke was not the joke. The funniest part about that joke is that Ja Rule actually had to respond to what DJ Vlad said. They asked for Ja Rule's opinion on DJ Vlad, asking why Drake and DJ Khaled isn't speaking up about the conflict. America is a joke. It's a fucking joke, man. One big, long-running joke, man. They actually asked this nigga, who gives a fuck what Ja Rule thinks at a time like this? There's apparently heads being cut off of babies. What the fuck is Drake or DJ Khaled going to say that is going to change or reverse what the fuck just happened? Now, DJ Vlad, just like you can go after Drake and DJ Khaled and be like, why aren't y'all speaking up? Somebody else who is on the grounds out there in Israel could be over there talking about, hey, Vlad, why aren't you using your funds and the money that you've made off of black culture to try to come out here and help us in this conflict? Why don't you go and get boots on the ground yourself? You feel so strongly about what's going on. You care about people's bloodlines and what technically makes them Jewish and the fact that they were Palestinian first and Jewish first. Nigga, take your ass out there over the country and go help your people fight. Because you calling out Drake and calling out DJ Khaled is doing the same thing that Drake and DJ Khaled being silent is doing. Not a fucking thing. Nothing at all. DJ Vlad is a hypocritical ass, Mr. Potato Head ass, uncooked face ass nigga. I don't care about what you've built. I don't care about the pool you have on social media or in the media game, because I know that's one person that if I continue to grow, or as I continue to grow, he gonna try to make it harder for me, people like me who don't like him. See, that's another thing these white dudes in this industry like to do to black people in their own culture, is to try to hold them back or to try to stop them from doing what it is that they're doing because they don't like you or they don't accept you. All these niggas from the hood that like to come and have interviews on your platform. Oh yeah, I'm glad, I'm cool, I'm good in the streets. No, you're not. You have managed to build a big enough platform to where people feel like they have to go to you to get exposure. Vlad ain't shit. Now, as we continue to move forward, we got to talk about this as well. This lady is catching hell online. The reason why she's catching hell online is because she decided she was going to break out her phone on the first date because her date decided to pull up to the Cheesecake Factory. And she thought that was well below her standards for a man to take her, especially the way that she looks, to the fucking Cheesecake Factory on their first date. You know, it's crazy. I don't know. Sometimes people be thinking in the moment that they have such a great idea, knowing damn well that, this might not go the way that you think it's going to go. And people volunteer their face and their personality to the world and expose themselves for being shitty individuals. Watch how this went down.
Woo. Let me just get the door for you. Okay. He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you?
Okay.
Are you're recording me?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
I'm sorry, he should have took you to Burger King. That probably would have suited you better with how you look.
You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
So he said, "Okay, I can talk about it. I can talk about it. I don't care if you got me on here," because him in his mind, he already knew that she fucked up by thinking that he fucked up. He knew she fucked up by thinking he fucked up. He said, "I got great reason as to why I brought you here to the Cheesecake Factory looking the way that you did. There's a reason why. Let me show you." They got in the car and they talked about it.
Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well look at my planner where we were gonna go originally.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right there. Call him.
No.
What do you mean no?
See, I specifically told you both yesterday and this morning that I'd come to pick you up at 4 p.m. Right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs for an hour. Right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late.
Now here come the excuses. When people fuck up but don't think they fucking up and think that it's somebody else's problem, it's crazy when you highlight the actual problem and then they start coming up with excuses. So now you're hearing that he had a way better spot to bring her before the Cheesecake Factory. He had reservations at a certain time. She took too long getting ready and took an hour for her to come downstairs to get in the car so they can leave. So he had to manipulate the plans. And instead of going to the first place he was trying to take her, he decided, okay, we'll just go to the Cheesecake Factory. So now we have more. Because after she found out that he was going to take her somewhere better, but it ended up being this, now she feel like, oh, well, we could just be here. He said, nope, taking your raggedy ass home. Watch this.
I can tell it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're
Nah. The chicken too good at Zaxby's, nigga. She gotta go somewhere else. She need chicken nuggets. She need chicken nuggets, man. Get her some chicken nuggets from Burger King, a nice little fry, be like $4 about $4.45. Get you a chicken nugget and some fries and a cup of water. That's free. It's the most that you can get.
Each other. So respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm up.
So you just want to call it a night? I mean, isn't there some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
I'm sorry, y'all.
Ladies, can you believe this? Every woman that watched this, yes, we can believe this.
If I don't feel respected, I am not gonna go through with the rest of the day.
Well, I mean, you are serious. You're really leaving.
Yeah.
She is beside herself.
Right?
I mean,
the lack of accountability.
I understand that I was late. I understand that. I understand that I could have been a bit more cooperative. You made some good points. That's why I'm willing to compromise.
You should have been willing to compromise in the first place. Now, this is another thing. All I did syndrome. Oh, I love spinning the block on that, man. I made that up myself. All I did syndrome. That's a new symptom that we haven't been diagnosing women with lately. That it's a known thing. It's been happening for years. It's just it hasn't been diagnosed. I'm the one that diagnosed it. It's called all I did syndrome. That's when a woman decides that she is going to escalate a situation. She's going to make it bad or make it worse, whatever she does to escalate it or to make it worse. And then when she gets called on it, or when there's any type of pushback on it or anything, and she gets the reaction she gets, that's not the reaction she's looking for. Now all of a sudden it's all I did. All I did was they minimize the situation. They minimize their part in it. So now it starts to look like you're overreacting, like you're the problem. Like, damn, all I did was be an hour late. All I did was get mad and not get out the car when you were trying to be a gentleman to bring me into the Cheesecake Factory and feed my ungrateful ass. All I did was have you get back into and record you while doing it, trying to put you on blast for social media. All I did was sit in the car and try to have a conversation about why you shouldn't have brought me to the Cheesecake Factory and brought all of this somewhere else. That shit's crazy. Now she talking about she want to compromise.
Sure you want to go home?
I don't have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already set them, and you've broken every one.
Oh
so,
my God.
I'm sorry. We're dropping you off home.
All right, whatever. Well, I mean, I guess I understand. You got to do what you got to do.
Look at that. Look at that. Now she got the dumb look on her face.
I understand where you're
because she getting dropped off looking like this. She thought all of that didn't deserve to get dropped off. Well, guess what? It did. And you went home and you made yourself a frozen pizza when you could have been having some fettuccine linguine on fucking on a nice Sunday afternoon. Shit don't make no sense. Look at you. Now, although I believe this is a skit, I still don't understand why people put themselves out there like that, even if it was a skit. Why do you want the world to make it seem like you are some high maintenance, ungrateful, unaccountability taking ass woman? Why do you want people to think that of you? Why do you even want that to be a narrative about you? Why don't people ever think about that? They think it's going to be like, oh, I'm going viral and I'm about to get some opportunities and get paid. No, this is the one and done. You're giving a perception to the world who doesn't know who the fuck you are. So this is what the majority of the people are going to see you as. It doesn't make sense to me, man. People are fucking wild. Now, speaking of wild people, we got to speak about this before we get up out of here. Now, Stephen A. Smith decided yesterday he had time. And the time that he had was the time that he was going to spend going at Jason Whitlock. Now, he didn't say Jason Whitlock by name, but everybody was pretty sure they knew exactly who he was talking about because he gave him a nickname. And as you can see in this picture, he gave him a very clear nickname, a very obvious, very observant nickname, which was Fat Bastard. This is what Stephen A. had to say.
Now, there's a lot of people out there that want me to address other names. There's one particular person
you
who
fat
will
bastard.
remain nameless. And I will not deny it. I think he's a fat, no-good bastard who I despise to the core. It's not Marcellus Wiley.
I want to play that.
Fat, no-good bastard who I think he's a fat, no-good bastard who I despise to the core. I think he's a fat, no-good bastard who I despise to the core. I think he's a fat, no-good bastard who I despise to the core.
I love it.
That is not Marcellus Wiley I'm talking about. It ain't hard to figure out who the hell I'm talking about. I'm where I'm at. That particular individual is where he's at. And I'll leave it at that. And no, I'm not talking about Marcellus Wiley again. No, I'm not talking about my former colleague on First Take. No, I'm not talking about them. They ain't fat bastards.
They ain't fat
bastards. They ain't fat bastards. They ain't fat bastards.
Evil laugh.
Who are seeds of the devil.
Ooh.
Wishing nothing but black folks home.
Ooh.
But I'll leave that for another day for when the time is right.
He said, hey, Jason, you a fat bastard who is a demon of hell who only wishes bad upon black people because you hate yourself. Damn. Damn. Now, although I don't like the sight of two raccoons fighting each other, this was very interesting to see. And as you see, I didn't make this picture. Actually, Jason Whitlock is the one that posted this picture here. This was right off of his page. That was how he responded. Oh, look at this. Wait, no, he didn't. Oh, I thought, okay. I thought he had Marcellus Wiley on his show. But yeah, no, he posted it. See, today's show is gonna be lit. And he tagged Stephen A. Smith and made himself the fat bastard. I will say this. He he embraced it. He sure did embrace it. Now, he has some things to say about Stephen A., and I want to play those for you right here as we continue to look at the fat bastard himself.
Most people don't want to take the kind of heat of criticism and the kind of slander that I take on a daily basis, because one, it'll cost you money. It'll cost you opportunity in corporate media. And most people don't want to take that heat and don't want to lose that money. I get it. But Stephen A., I would just like to say, I'm not your enemy. And I am a critic, and I will criticize you from time to time. But it's not personal. And let go. That to go for a grown man to go on a podcast and say, I despise someone to their core. At our age, that's really unhealthy.
Oh my!
I can remember
you trying to call somebody unhealthy, Jason? Unhealthy? My guy. You can't be saying what's unhealthy for people, man. Check yourself.
Ago, what's the guy's name? Reuben Hurricane Carter, the boxer. That according
Hold
to
up,
the
you want to know what else is
was
unhealthy? Not
wrongfully
just your weight and not just what you intake. I know you be trying to get the weight off. I know you be trying your best, man. It's old age. You're not working out. It's just old age. It's catching up to you. You slimming down a little bit. You kind of on the Lavelle Crawford in 2023 looking side of the game. But at the same time, what else is unhealthy is the fact that you spend most of your time trying to degrade and trying to build narratives about black people on a mostly Republican fueled and white platform. And then they try to mask it just like Larry Elder. They'll try to act like they give a damn about black people or like they want black people to wake up from some democratic spell that they in, which is crazy because it's like if you want to help black people, the first thing you should do is listen. Because I can tell you right now, I have ran into and come across more black Republicans over the past few years than I have black Democrats. And if it's not black Republicans, they are people that don't claim a political party. So first thing you should be doing is listening to your own people before you start spewing out the talking points of these Republican individuals who don't actually care about black people. Y'all still running off the same narratives of 2020. That's unhealthy. But hey, who am I?
Convicted of a murder. I got to interview him years ago in Kansas City. He came to give a speech. And maybe it was in the movie, but he said it to me at that time that if you're carrying around that kind of hate and animus, it ends up destroying the person carrying the hate and animus, not the target of that hate and animus.
It seems.
Stephen, let that go. I mean, and I'm not talking, let it go. And, seed of the devil, really? Come on now. I'm the seed of the devil because I criticize you and other people in the media who make a living criticizing other people and other athletes. You can't take it?
There's that all I did syndrome. Jason Whitlock, as you can hear, is suffering from all I did syndrome. His whole thing is just because I criticize you, all I did was make criticism of somebody who criticizes people for a living. No, Jason. You spread narratives. You carry more hate in your heart for whatever it is that you're against, that you speak on your platform than anybody you could speak of. There's a reason why Stephen A. took the time to say the certain things he said about you. See, Jason likes to contribute what he does to him just speaking real or trying to speak his mind and all this other shit. See, Jason has been dropped from several platforms over the years because it's not just about, oh, I'm saying what's on my mind. No, you're clearly doing something to try to appeal to a certain crowd. And you're willing to say outlandish shit to try to dig into this shock value crowd, shock jock type shit. I hate when people do that. You mask being real or being outspoken with just the simple fact that you just want to be a shock jock and say the things that you think other people are scared to say. Nobody's scared to say anything that Jason Whitlock has said over the years. Nothing. And nobody has put Jason Whitlock in a position to lose besides Jason Whitlock. That's why I'm not even gonna play this shit. No, I'm not gonna play the rest of that video. Ain't no point in playing the rest of the video. That's somebody that's skipping around accountability. When somebody says all I did was criticize you but don't say what it is that they said, that's somebody who hides behind the rhetoric that they spew out and try to be the, oh, well, all I did. No, fuck all that shit. You are who you are. A fat bastard who hyper focuses on black people because it makes you a nice Republican dollar. That goes for so many of those black voices for the Republican Party who they like to amp up and push up into the forefront. They all be on the same shit. Not one of them. DJ Vlad did more for the black community than you, Jason Whitlock, than Candace Owens, than Larry Elder. That man donated money to the NAACP and he didn't even want to. He did it just so he could save face in the culture. Y'all motherfuckers just talking shit about black people, man. Damn. Get this nigga off the screen, man. GMS fam, the Green Room. It has been a dope show once again. As always, I want to thank y'all, man. Today is Friday, so I hope that y'all have a wonderful and blessed rest of your weekend. Hey, man, we still doing the GMS Fund, man. So if there's anybody out there that wants to help donate to the GMS Fund and get us to a better place out here when it comes to up in production and improving this channel, man, go ahead and donate to that Cash App as you see down here below, man. If you cannot see it there, it's in the description below. Go ahead and support the GMS show in a big way if you can. Follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App. Do all that shit. Hit the like button. Hit the share. Y'all know what to do. Put a GMS in the chat, man. I'm going to shout y'all out. Mike Reimer was in the building. Front Page was here. Pro Me Cole was here. Hurricane JW was here. Toke Champs was in the building. Ramal is in the building. Live on Lake Street, my guys. Make sure you go and tune in with them. Subscribe to their channel and catch us every Wednesday night on Shoot First, man. Lady Aries is in the building. Jeff Brown was in the building, man. Legendary Jedi in the building. Comedian, writer, and motherfucking producer in this motherfucker, man. We got some shit to do too, by the way. We gonna chop it up behind the scenes, man. PM Midnight is in the building. Zen Masters in the building. Make sure you go tap in with my guy as well. Subscribe to his channel. Check him out for all the sports updates that you need. One Fast R is in the building. My brother JR Miller is in the building. King Lukey was in here, man. Shout out to King Lukey, my Minnesota brother, always, man. GMS fam, the Green Room, I appreciate every single one of y'all that popped up today and showed love as usual. We gonna keep it GMS in here with pushing that peace, love, positive energy, good vibes, and always good green, baby. GMS fam, the Green Room, one love. We out.